Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Prize Picks video. This one we're talking about the MLB for Monday, July 8th. In the video, we have 4 picks for you guys to consider, so stay tuned to hear all 4 of the picks. We are also partnered with Prop Projections this MLB season. If you want to check them out, they send out spreadsheets with their projections for Prize Picks props. So you can join here for free on their Patreon with the link down below to get access to the occasional free spreadsheet that they send out. Or you could come down and you could join over here. First, $1 per spreadsheet and set the limit on how many spreadsheets that you want to get per month. They commonly have over 200 projections on their spreadsheet. This is what it looks like. You have your projection here compared to the Prize Picks line with the highest percent chance to win. Based on their projections, I found that their projections have been pretty good this year. But also what I like to do is to actually copy this sheet and then make my own projections and come up with my own top winning percent projections, which is definitely pretty cool and something that you can't really find anywhere else, somewhere where you can make your own projections on a fully customizable sheet. So definitely check them out. At least subscribe down there for free on Patreon to get the occasional free one that they send out. So let's get into this one in the video. Like I said, 4 picks here. The first one I'm going to go with is going to be a hitter stack. So I like in these bigger MLB slips to come up with hitter stacks. So the first one I'm going to go to is going to be the Cincinnati Reds against the Colorado Rockies. You can see over here on the day, this is going to be the highest run total at 9 here with the Reds as minus 166 on the money line. So big favorites in a high scoring game. Implied run total of like 5 runs or more in this for the Reds. So definitely are liking them and looking to a stack. We can see their lineup. You got India coming up first with Ellie De La Cruz coming up second. So that's a stack we're going to go to for this one. For India coming up first in the lineup, we're going to go to him over on a half run. And then we're going to have Ellie De La Cruz come up right behind him and go to the over on his fantasy score of 9. So hoping India gets on base, Ellie De La Cruz can hit him in to get those fantasy points as well. So that's the stack we're going to go to in the highest projected run total of the day for the Reds here at minus 166, 9 run total. We can come look at this one over on Outlier. So they are a great tool. It does have a free trial if you haven't tried them out yet. Ton of data, especially for MLB. So we could see India here over on a half run on the season, just a 40% hit rate. Last year, this was a 50% hit rate, but India has definitely been on a hotter streak. In his last 10 games, he's gone 50% hit rate. In his last 20, it's been a 50% hit rate as well. We're going to also see India is batting 500 against this Rockies pitcher, Feltner, in only 2 at-bats, so 1 for 2 against him a lifetime. But liking this matchup here for India, he's been scoring a ton of runs. You could see some games here with 3 runs in his last 10. 3 games he had 3 runs, so he's been scoring a lot of runs, getting on base. He's been one of the hotter players in the league, honestly, so going to India here in a great matchup. Then looking at Ellie De La Cruz on his fantasy score at 9, almost a 50% hit rate for him, a 44% hit rate on the season. We've seen in the last 10 games, he's gone 5 of 10 has hit this, and his last 20, a 55% hit rate, so definitely trending upwards. And then we can also see for Ellie De La Cruz on the fantasy score in home games, it is a little higher at 48%, nearly 50% here, hitting that fantasy score in home games. And for some reason, when you're on fantasy score, they don't let you compare to right-handed hitters. But if we go to the hit run RBI, we could see Ellie De La Cruz on this is a 1.5. But against right-handed pitchers, it's a 54% hit rate. So he definitely likes facing right-handers more than lefties on the season. And we can come down to see his average on the season is 247 versus righties. It's 251. Feltner also giving up a higher ERA and batting average to left-handed batters. And then we can see Ellie De La Cruz is 1 for 3 with an RBI against Feltner as well. So definitely are liking this stack here in this matchup for the first 2 picks For the next one, we're going to Gavin Williams over on his strikeouts at 4.5 against the Detroit Tigers. So looking against Detroit Tigers, we could see that they do strike out a good amount of times. They are 21st in the league as far as strikeouts, almost 9 per game here. I think they strike out 10th most in the league. This means if they rank 21st in strikeouts per game. So a pretty good matchup here for Gavin Williams. We could take a look at him as well over on Outlier, and we could see some stats too around this one. So for Gavin Williams on the season, he has just played one game. He's 0 for 1 on this so far. He just threw 4 innings in that first game, but I think he's going to have a bigger one and can throw more innings in this game. Last season, he hit this at a 50% hit rate. Had some massive strikeout games with 12 and 10. And on the season, right at a 9 strikeout per 9 innings guy. Hasn't faced these batters that much, just 2 at-bats against 4 batters, struck 1 of them out. We can come down to see Detroit. They are actually ranked even lower against right-handed pitchers as far as striking out. They are 23rd in the league here compared to 21st on the season so far, so definitely a good sign for Gavin Williams there as well. Also, we can see over on OddsJam, another tool with a free trial. If you want to check them out, they compare lines on Prizepicks, other player prop sites, to sportsbooks. So you can see 4.5 here for Gavin Williams. It's minus 125 on DraftKings, Caesars, Pinnacle. I think they have the sharpest sportsbook odds. It's at minus 149 on Pinnacle. So they're really liking it, and a lot of other sites are liking it as well, but especially Pinnacle, which is the sportsbook odds that I trust the most as well here. So definitely liking it because of that as well. So we're going to go over to Gavin Williams on 4.5. For the next one, we're going to go to Chris Flexen over on his strikeouts at 3.5 against Minnesota. So looking at Flexen on Outlier, we could see that they are pitching at home. So we can come and look at Minnesota. They only strike out the 10th ranked in the league, right under 8 per game. But on away games, they strike out over 8 per game, 8.13. And also last season, they struck out the most in the MLB, over 10 strikeouts per game as a team, by far the most in the MLB. No other team was over 10. So big strikeout team last year, and they strike out more on the road. So definitely a good sign for Flexen here. On the season, it's just a 50% hit rate, 8 of 16. Last season, it was higher than that. It was 56% in 9 of 16 games that he pitched in. 3.5, definitely a low line here for a guy that's right around 7 strikeouts per 9 innings. But we could see that as of late, he's been pitching more innings. So 6, 5.2, and then 6 in his last 3 outings. So has been pitching more than he was in the previous 7 games. So definitely good to see that as well, that the innings are up. Chris Flexen against some of these batters has done pretty well against them, against Santana. Santana's 0 for 9 against him. Kepler is 1 for 9. Larnach is 0 for 6 against him. But then you got Buxton, who hit him extremely well last season especially. We can also come down and see Minnesota against right-handed pitching. They are a little worse on the season at 12th compared to 10th overall, so strike out more against right-handed pitchers. So liking it for all these reasons here. Looking at Flexen, we can see over on his strikeouts, similar story here. All these sportsbooks like it, but Pinnacle minus 149, so they like it the most over here as well. And again, those are the sportsbook that I think has the sharpest odds. So gonna go with this. OddsJam, definitely check them out as well. So we are partnered with Prop Projections. If you guys do want the occasional free projection spreadsheet, definitely get over to the Patreon, sign up for free. But you can get access to, for just $1 per spreadsheet when you pledge that amount on Patreon. So they'll post them directly in there. You'll get notified when they go live. Their projections have been pretty good all season. And then the thing I like about it is that you can customize these projections so you get the Prizepicks lines. You could put in any number you want over here, and then it changes the win-in percentage. Then you can filter by your own percent to come up with your own projections. So definitely join up for free on Patreon for Prop Projections. They will post that occasional free sheet. Or you could join for $1 per spreadsheet. Just click join, and then you could choose how many spreadsheets that you want to get per month, and then you'll get notified whenever a new one comes live for that day. So definitely check them out. If you want to see more about prop projections, I did a full video on them that you could watch here on this end card to get more information on how it all works. So definitely check that one out. Subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in another one.